We are currently receiving a downlink from Discovery as it passes over the Pacific Ocean. Once again, the Cirrus is part of the AFP 675. The problems that have occurred with the two tape recorders on AFP 675 have had no impact on Cirrus. Cirrus is performing quite well. The community, the payload community working with that particular instrument is very happy with the data that they've received. Cirrus is the primary payload on AFP 675. The recorders in question are related to the secondary payloads, specifically the FAR UV, which performs imaging and photometry of natural and man-made ultraviolet emissions, the Uniformly Redundant Array, or URA, which measures spectral and spatial characteristics of the Earth's horizon, and QIMS, the Quadrupole Ion and Neutral Spectrometer, which determines and identifies contamination for Cirrus.
Mission Control Houston, we are using the payload bay cameras right now to hopefully catch a glimpse of the Russian space station Mir as it performs an on-orbit burn. Though it will be difficult to pick Mir out from the stars as they pass behind us, the payload bay cameras are positioned such that they're looking straight back behind the orbiter, where the Mir is flying at about 850 nautical miles behind us.
איזה חייזר?
זה מה שאמרתי לך שראיתי.
זה צלחת נוספת, חבר'ה! כן, זה צלחת נוספת, זאתי!
זה צריך להביא את זה לרופא משפחה.
مدينة حمص انفجار واستبداعات. الله أكبر الله أكبر، انفجارات رهيبة جدا جدا. الله أكبر الله أكبر.
Beni bir martiveli ya.
الله أكبر. كتاب نور الدين زنكي جبهة معرض الأرتيق. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. تجمع كتاب نور الدين.
We are currently receiving downlink from Discovery as it passes over the Pacific Ocean. Once again, the SINAI'S is part of the AFP 675. The problems that have occurred with the two tape recorders on AFP 675 have had no impact on SINAI'S. SINAI'S is performing quite well. The community, the payload community working with that particular instrument is very happy with the data that they've received. SINAI'S is the primary payload on AFP 675. The recorders in question are related to the secondary payloads, specifically the far UV, which performs imaging and photometry of natural and man-made ultraviolet emissions, the uniformly redundant array, or URA, which measures spectral and spatial characteristics of the Earth's horizon, and QIMS, the quadrupole ion and neutral spectrometer, which determines and identifies contamination for SINAI'S.
Mission Control Houston, we are using the payload bay cameras right now to hopefully catch a glimpse of the Russian space station Mir as it performs an on-orbit burn. Though it will be difficult to pick Mir out from the stars as they pass behind us, the payload bay cameras are positioned such that they're looking straight back behind the orbiter, where the Mir is flying at about 850 nautical miles behind us.
Welcome to Laurel Smith of Chicago, Illinois, nonprofit home video and artwork creations. In this particular video, we will be looking at the 2011 UFO appearance over the Jerusalem Temple Mount, Dome of the Rock Octagon. As a bright glowing light. Then, as it hovered over the Temple Mount, it shot a burst of light out on the Temple Mount and hit it straight upwards. Now, when we look at the Jerusalem Temple Mount bright holy hydrogen light of creation based UFO propulsion system, we must identify the Jerusalem Temple Mount 1, 2, 3 globed Earth octagonal equal 12 perimeters, as seen in a North Pole concentrically viewed map image of planet Earth. That's the image when you place Earth at your feet like a basketball and look straight down upon it. You will see that when you place the octagon of the Temple Mount within a square on a blank piece of paper, when you draw a line from each corner of the square into the center of the octagon, you have just enclosed the Jerusalem Temple Mount within the globed Earth Egyptian pyramid. This is why the pyramid serves as a geometric model of the spherical shape of planet Earth. Now, the Temple Mount, African Sphinx line of ancient Judaism that's recorded in the book of Genesis 49:8 as the fourth son of Jacob, he's seen leaving the ancient Iraqi Mesopotamian Stele Pyramid area. Now, in Psalms 105th chapter and 23rd verse, we see the Stele Pyramids of Babylon, ancient Saqqara Stele Pyramids in Egypt. So here's where we see the 12 sons of Jacob leaving the Stele Pyramids in Babylon in Mesopotamia as they entered into ancient Egypt, where we see the 12 sons, the fourth son of Jacob, entered into ancient Egypt amongst the 12 sons of Jacob. where we currently see him today, couched down in front of the second Egyptian pyramids, as the biblical Ethiopian couching line thinks of ancient Judaism. We now see the International Space Station E-013-4000, expedition number 13. Now, in this International Space Station lab, we see the filming of a UFO in which I tagged 13. So the dark UFO in which I tagged 13, when I filtered it and added color to it, you'd see the E3 African think space up on the left and right hand side of the UFO 13. So the International Space Station up above the surface of planet Earth has filmed a UFO as it enters into the globed Earth octagonal equatorial perimeter of the Dome of the Rock. Here's where we see the 1, 2, 3 grouping of pyramid squares that's seen within the rectangular window frames of the Dome of the Rock, as they are seen flanking a central Ethiopian cross. So when we look at the Giza pyramids from a 12 to 6 o'clock position, we see a 1, 2, 3 grouping of pyramid squares. As we uncover the globe Earth equatorial perimeter of the Egyptian pyramids of Isaiah 19:19 and the biblical North African couching line think of ancient Judaism, we have actually exposed modern Israel, the modern Israelite story, that they was the chosen people of the extraterrestrial that landed upon Mount Sinai in the glowing UFO that had a crystal dome, where Prophet Ezekiel saw alien Yeshua sitting. When we go back to the geographic location of the UFO that landed upon Mount Sinai in the Old Testament, or the King James Bible, you would be shocked to find out that when you look up the location geographically of Mount Sinai in the colleges and libraries, you will see that Mount Sinai is geographically located in the northern part of Africa. When you look at the African continent from a helicopter or from an airplane, and when you look straight down, you see a group of mountains in the northern part of Africa called Sinai. So the UFO of alien Yeshua that created Genesis 2:7 normal-headed human race landed in ancient Egypt. So this changes the whole ball game. Why? Because we now see a group of elongated Old Testament extraterrestrials connected to the Jerusalem Temple Mount and the Isaiah 19:19 Egyptian pyramids. What's amazing is that we do not see the great extraterrestrials creating the normal-headed human race. We see the elongated Old Testament extraterrestrials creating the book of Genesis 2:7, the normal-headed human race. But this uncovers Genesis 1:26, because there's two creations in the book of Genesis by a biological life form referred to as Allah and Yeshua. When we look at the book of Genesis 1:26, it speaks of an elongated African Adam as the first creation, because they had 3 fingers and 1 thumb on each hand, and a group of them had 4 fingers and 1 thumb. So the group that was closest to Genesis 2:7, that created Genesis 2:7, normal-headed human race, turns out to be a black elongated African ancient of days. This uncovers theological racism as it relates to the 400-year-old mistranslated King James Bible that denied the book of Genesis 49 chapter and 8 verse 4 son of Jacob that ruled over all the 12 sons of Jacob in the original Islamic Aramaic let my people go story. This is why we see the Islamic Aramaic inscriptions upon the outer wall of the Dome of the Rock, and we do not see Hebrew or Israelite inscriptions. Now, when we look at Comet Ison's German astronomer 404 infrared cube inside the Chinese satellite image pyramid form of Comet Ison, we see the Isaiah 19:19 Giza pyramids connected to Comet Ison Chinese satellite image pyramid form, in which I've given a tag 70T3 pyramid. So this connects the Comet Ison to the Isaiah 19:19 Egyptian pyramid complex and the biblical African couching line thinks of ancient Judaism. But when we look at the infrared cube inside Comet Ison, the 404 cube structure in New Jerusalem, when you bisymmetrically view this cube and add color to it through my filtering process, you will see the African Ancient of Days Islamic Aramaic alphabet upon Common Ice and UFO 8 image. So the UFO 8 Islamic Aramaic inscriptions appears in the Tanzania Stone Town Ethiopian temple. It's a part of the U-shaped entrance gate to the Stone Town Ethiopian temple in Tanzania. So here's where we reconnect a group of elongated African extraterrestrials to the cross-shaped building structure located in modern Lalibela. Here's where we see the Dome of the Rock looking down upon the octagon, equatorial perimeter of the globe Earth. When you draw a line from the north to the south, to the east to the west within the octagon of the Jerusalem Temple Mount, holy building structure of King David and Solomon, the geometric image that is generated is a cross. So, since the cross is a part of Africa and Ethiopia's Lalibela cross-shaped building structure, we see the cross generating the 3 Giza pyramids and the Q structure in New Jerusalem, which is amazing. Now, when we come back to the International Space Station images of Comet Ison, through the Soho satellite imagery, we see a black moon-sized orbiting cube structure of New Jerusalem around our sun. Now, when we look at the outer wall of the Dome of the Rock, rectangular window frames, we see a central Ethiopian cross in all the rectangular window frames. Then we see a group of 1, 2, 3 grouping of squares flanking the upper left and right hand corners of the Ethiopian cross. So, it is only when we reconnect the African lion sphinx of Genesis 49 chapter and 8 verse, the first book in the King James Bible, to Comet Ison and Pyramid 7 form, and to the International Space Station, ISS-E-013-4000. Expedition number 13. Now, they filmed a dark bluish green UFO at the rim of the basketball-shaped Earth. So, as if you're up on the International Space Station and you in the space lab, you'll see that I froze the laptop image, that where we see the UFO appearing up on the laptop.